हे गाइस, स्वागत है आप सबका मेरे यूट्यूब चैनल सुनो कहानी में। तो आज हम पढ़ने जा रहे हैं यू ओनली लिव वंस बाय स्तुति चांगल। 1 फॉर पैशन, 2 फॉर लव, 3 फॉर फ्रेंडशिप। तो चलिए देखते हैं इस बुक में क्या है। ये भी बहुत लोग रेकमेंड करते हैं कि एक बार पढ़ के देखो, बहुत ही अच्छी बुक है और इस पर ऑलरेडी लिखा हुआ है बेस्ट सेलिंग ऑथर ऑफ ऑन द ओपन रोड। तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं। To the ones you have loved and lost, not necessarily to death। तो ये उन्होंने थैंक यू बोला है। तो ये थैंक यू लिखा है उन्होंने और जिस लोगों ने उनको इनकरेज किया है ये बुक लिखने के लिए। तो इसको अभी हम स्किप करते हैं, हम सीधा बुक से शुरुआत करते हैं। कहाँ से? अच्छा, ये देखते हैं वॉइस ऑफ स्लम, इसमें क्या बताया इन्होंने। अबाउट अ ईयर अगो आई हैड दिस अमेजिंग अपॉर्चुनिटी टू इंटरेक्ट विथ देव एंड चांदनी, को फाउंडर्स ऑफ वॉइस ऑफ स्लम। देयर जर्नी इज सो इंस्पायरिंग that I was compelled to become a part of it. On my last birthday, I ran a campaign with them to on donate card and could collect an incredible 897 food packets for slum children through my social media। अच्छा, तो ये स्लम चिल्ड्रन में जो लोग रहते हैं, जो बच्चे रहते हैं, उनके लिए जो भी प्रोवाइड फूड हो गया, कपड़े हो गई, इन सब के लिए उन्होंने डाल रखा है और ये लिंक दिया है इन्होंने कि इस पर आप भी डोनेट कर सकते हैं। The world is our home. It is delusion to all your apartment home. Even worse to stick to the same place all through your life. If you have found love or happiness somewhere, you have found a home. Rami on the open road. To the longest flight. Elara. Friday, 1st November 2019. La Apricion, Mustek Main Street, Prague, the Freeze Public. I carry a piece of you wherever I go. How would you define long in your life? Let us begin with the longest night of your life. When was it? Was it when you had your board exam the next day? Or was it the one when you could not get up because you had partied too hard the night before? Or was it when you dreamed about the love of your life all night? About meeting them finally? How do you define long moments? Would it be in hours or minutes? Would it be in days and days? Months, maybe. Whatever it may be, long would mean something for you too. For me, long has been as long as the day I was born and might stretch to the day when I take my last breath. Yes, that is how long it is going to be. The longing to meet my mother, touch her, know her, embrace her, and never let her go. All through my life, I kept asking my dad, what happened to her? A child without a mother always feels incomplete. It's his unwillingness and reluctance to find her that has ruined my life in several ways. Living with him is like clinging to a damaged arm. At times, I become the worst version of me. The fascination to not let go is huge, but the perks of actually doing it would be amazing. I find it difficult to imagine my life without him, only until I am with him. If I let him go once and for all, I should be able to move on. But as I grow older, I hope that someday I will be able to forgive him. A few years back, I found a box full of mother's unreleased songs in the attic. She was a singer and songwriter back in the 90s. She played at the hippie trail in Goa, and tourists from across the world come to watch her perform live. I carry this box within me. It's a box full of questions, gaining weight every passing day as new questions added to it. Where did she disappear? Did she not love me ever? My dad had moved on long back. It has been 22 years since he left us. I can calculate it exactly as I dress up in a red evening gown to attend his 21st wedding anniversary with Irana, my stepmother. I could never gather the courage to ask whether it was planned or by accident that my father decided to tie the knot exactly a year after my mother went missing. On 1st November 1998, he married Irana in Czech Republic. I have been struggling to establish a sense of belongingness with the country since then. This is beautiful, but I long to visit my roots once. I want to live where my mother spent her childhood, know who she was connected to, how would she spend her weekends, the place where she attended school. She was a singer, that's all I know, with clarity and confidence, and so am I. It's only when I compose my own music that I travel away from reality and feel that she is standing by my side, holding my hand forever. My dad never stopped me from following my passion, and so I have found an excuse to forgive him for the mistakes I believe he committed in the past. We don't connect that well. Dad and I, my stepmother Ellen and Dad are closer, I feel. More so because Ellen's mom is still with him, unlike mine. I would ride through the nights I felt the pain. That's how I composed my first song at the age of 8. My music teacher, as well as my classmates, broke into tears when they heard it. It was deep, dark, and insane for an 8-year-old to write and sing with such intensity. They believed that's when and how my career as a singer began. Irina, my stepmother, is a new age fashion influencer and helped me set up my YouTube channel. She is not really talented, but she married a wealthy guy, and fancy social media accounts are part of the assets you create if you have a lot of money. After all, rich people can afford to buy new clothes for every post that they make. Having said that, she is a nice person at heart. I don't really hold anything against her. I am not close to anyone at home, not really I am close to my guitar. It's because it's always meets my expectation people. They often fail to do so. Unfulfilled expectations lead to unfulfilled relationships. Hey Ella, says my step aunt Betty as I enter La Epicrion. You have grown up to be beautiful woman, she continues. Thank you, I respond. I don't talk a lot when it comes to Irina's siblings. They are 5 women, full of gossip and unnecessary banter. Also, here in Greece, women outnumber men, so they are on a constant lookout for a foreigner to settle down with. Betty is the youngest one, and I heard her own siblings discussing her relationship with a guy from New York who is half her age. He is the one who gave her the name Betty too. Living the American dream has fascinated the world since the 1960s. Which song are you performing tonight? She asks. Time, I say, wondering if she would have even understand the depth of the concept. Time it is. The one thing that has never been on my side, time, is what ruined my game early on. Time is what I challenge as I hope to find my mom or perhaps an answer. We have not published a new song in months. What keeps you busy these days? She inquires. You don't even have a job, she edits. Yes, this is where I draw the line. Relatives can get so unbearable at times. I am facing a writer's block. I write my own songs after all. What would she know of it? She is the one she is of the kind who would seek Irina's help to write even an email. Soon, I smile wide. Cut. Short, sweet. She deserves to know that much. It's been quite some time since I last published a song on YouTube. I wish to release my first album, but I have run out of ideas. Literally, I know deep within my heart that leaving this place would help me ideate and write songs. Here I am consumed with much more than writing and performing at cafes. I have to attend customary functions like today. My dad is respected in the community, and that's the thing about rich people. They never get bored of partying and socializing. Me, I told you right, I struggle with a sense of belongings. I long to be myself, sense all the responsibilities and sensibilities I find myself compelled to fit into. I long to meet my mom. I long to meet you, Mom. Let me tell you, your mother would perhaps be the most overlooked person by you. Trust me, you might not even appreciate the food that she cooks with all the love. But there are people like me who don't even know what food cooked with love tastes like. I have only heard about it from the other people. I woke up the stage, set my guitar, and started to sing. I wish to go back in time and meet you when you had not met her. I wish to hold you and say, pack your favorite things, we are hitting the road, baby. I wish to I wish to kiss you and say, you are everything that I ever wanted in this life. If I am madness, you are a peace, baby. Then I can come back home to reality. A broken guitar and empty room. You walk back home to her. Your love, your dream. I wish to go back in time and meet you when you had not met her. गाना बेकार लगे तो कमेंट कर सकते हैं ठीक है While I play, I am mostly looking at the love of my life, my guitar. I lift my face and eyes up to realize I performed to a Lukewarm responses, claps, some real, some forced, smiles, some real, some forced. Thereafter, the entire restaurant is filled with the chatter and noise. People get busy getting themselves wine and dinner. Here is where I always make room for sneaking out. I never plan to spend the night here. Elena's relatives are too pretentious to appreciate my songs. They appreciate mainstream music and whatever it is trending. Also, I am not very popular in since I compose in English and Hindi. Some of my YouTube subscribers are from India. People often ask me, where are you lost? Lost is how I feel mostly. Alien in a room full of people, full of conversation. I long for a sense of belongings. I mostly find it within me, in my imagination, with the people I wish were part of my life, and in my places far off that I have never been to. Reality is in stark contrast to what I long for, therefore I seek solace in the being lost. I drive back home, walk straight to my bathroom, look into the mirror and question myself, why? Why did she leave me, abandon me? I believe that God has been unfair to me, so I don't really believe in this existence. All I know is that if I want something, I will have to go get it for myself. That is how it has been. But guess what? Tonight is not for crying. I have done enough of it. Tonight is about making a move. It is time to get going of my life's most awaited trip. Oh wait, did I forget to mention that I am traveling far away tonight? Well, yes, my bags and plans are in place. When I step out today, I am flying off really far off. I have been planning it for months and it is the perfect day to begin the search. The only person I know who holds some pieces of my life's greatest puzzle decides exactly where my mother was born, Goa. He must be sipping a glass of beer in Ricky's beach shake, his own on looking the Arabian Sea. I spontaneously check the shake's story on Instagram and my speculation finds evidence. He indeed is doing that. He does not have a personal account though. See, the cafe manager handles this. He must be exactly the oldie who feels began on social media is a waste of time. How did I figure it out? I have been stalking this account for over 2 years. Now, who is Ricky? Well, he is my mother's childhood friend. Besides him, there is only that box of unreleased songs that I have. For the longest time, I had wanted my post graduation at a local arts college to end so that I could start making some money. My recent rise on YouTube and working part time as a waitress in Mustek got me enough savings. Then all I had to do was convince my dad with a beautiful lie Indian music tour across cafes. Leave after my anniversary party. Everyone is looking forward to watching you perform, darling. He had requested. Of course, Dad. I had grinned. After all, living on this auspicious day was part of the plan. I move into the shower. Let me tell you that the shower is my temple, the place where I worship not God, but the person within me. I have not touched this person ever. Maybe it is what they call the soul. I worship it by either talking to it or listening to it. Soul to us is like the essence of a flower, responsible for its fragrance. Its voice shows me the way to light and sometimes the depths of dark. I am an atheist, a non-conformist, a dreamer. I don't visit temples made of bricks and mortars when I need to worship. I need to the shower before embarking on the pilgr- pilgrimage of a lifetime. I have to worship. The shower is where I listen to my soul or talk to it. It feels like the perfect place, devoid of all earthly noises, far off from the not kept humanly promises. The shower is where I reminds us about all things happy, the sound of my guitar, the bliss of the first rainfall, the intoxication of red wine, and the warmth of a cup of hot coffee. Water at its every touch lifts me from the drudgery of life and norms of the society. It heals me, not the tangible me, but my soul, this force within me. The shower is where I have made love from the heart and bled dreams from the eyes. But tonight I will tell you more about bleeding dreams than making love. Disappointed, disappointed, you must feel, but I don't have an option. I have to tell you my story. Bleeding dreams is not just crying, it is not even bleeding exactly. When you have cried so much that your eyes become red like blood, this is when you are bleeding dreams. When you have tried your best to believe that your dream will come true but can't walk any further or even crawl any further, this is when you are bleeding dreams. I have been doing that in the shower, my temple, for as long as I can remember. Tonight, as I stand beneath the flower shower and lean my head against the wall, I can feel the heavy signs. These signs scream that my chest will explode at any moment, oozing out blood like honey from the honeycomb, becoming one with the flowing water draining into the pipeline. There is a haze in the bathroom, dim yellow lights, the sound of water on marble, and a symphony of crickets chirping. It's night, I can hear my breath, letting out music similar to that from a broken couch shell. Dismal, distressing, and sharp. After all, it is the company of music that you worship, God or the demon, don't you? I don't always talk to my soul as I am doing tonight. It is mostly about listening. My soul tells me about the goodness in the world, such as the smell of the ocean far away, where I should be spending my next vacation. It tells me that unlike the place I live in, it rains for hours and hours, the way I like it in some parts of the world. It tells me that I am insignificant in this vast universe, boundaries to which could never be known, and that I can calm down, breathe, and then take a step forward. It tells me to help the needy who are not half as fortunate as I am and spend time with them. It tells me to love my dad despite everything, most of all. It tells me to listen to my heart. Don't forget this one, as I never do it. It tells me to listen my heart, and I do it bravely and do it as it tells me to. Yes, I am the one who listens to my heart. The shower is where I stand as myself, naked, vulnerable, and all on my own. You must feel that I am incomplete, but that's not true. I feel complete, but how can one be complete in solitude? Beneath this flowing shower, I feel wholly myself. I feel that I no longer to have dress up like my family wants me to, sing like they want me to, or attend customary weekend social parties like they would like me to. I am myself since all the responsibilities and the rituals they find themselves entangled in. I don't want to fit in. I want to be myself. I walk out of the bathroom and move on to the wardrobe to pick up the box kept amidst my clothes. I pick up a pair of binoculars from the drawer, a pair of slippers from another, and my diary from the beside. I had finished my packing long back. There are just some add ons, but I feel unsettled, anxious that I might still have left something. I scan the room in a hassle but don't find a thing that I would have missed. Have you ever looked at a room as if it were your last time? Register every single detail of it. I have spent 5 years in this room. I give a final look to the walls done by me and I shut the door. Before leaving the house, I also glance upon my incomplete family photo. Have you ever looked at someone's face so closely as to register every detail of it, as if you know that you are looking at it for the last time? I could never get over the resentment that he never made a bigger effort to seek out of the truth. I had to remember my dad's passive eyes and, of course, his mouth that kept at par with his eyes. I had to remember every beat of his face. They say out of sight is out of mind. If you can't forget that €10 note in the pocket of your jeans, you can forget anything until you chance upon it again. Is holding on difficult? Is letting go easy? I reached the airport just in time. I could not afford to miss this flight. I am flying out of Europe all my own for the first time. As I make my way towards the check-in baggage counter, I exchange a smile with another girl who seems to be of Indian origin. She seems to be my age and is traveling on her own too. This girl reached the counter first. Right behind her, a woman whose shoulder tattoo reads, "Be kind," shouts at her. She gently smiles in return while offering her to move forward. Now, standing right in front of me, she says, "Nice bag." "Thank you," I reply. "No person is bad. How you look at them is a reflection of your own self." A friend of mine would always remember others by the cars they own, while I never even notice their clothes. I feel that we must always look up to somebody. Everybody is unique and has something unique to offer. It helps you keep yourself grounded. Would you mind me asking where you got it from? "Oh, why would I?" I shrug. "It's a birthday gift. My father brought it from the US. Lucky you. Your dad must be amazing, huh? He must love you so much. What a gift. Perhaps I will never get to know what model it is." She replies. "Yeah, it would be kind of rude to call him up and say, 'Hey dad, where exactly did you get my bag from?'" A broken laughter erupts out of me. We laugh in unison like school children to over the most stupid jokes and even engage in a high fives. To be honest, her innocence reminds me of one of my friends from school. My father kept us moving between cities all through my life, and I never got to meet her again. I could never find her on Facebook either, but this woman felt like the that old friend uneating after years. I bid her a happy journey as I am now the first person in the queue. She moved towards the boarding gates. "Hello, ma'am," says the beautiful attendant from the ground staff. Her name card reads Meliana. "Hello, Meliana," I say as I hand her my phone with the flight reservation details. "Window?" she inquires with a smile. "Yes," I say, "it's going to be a long flight. How many check-in bags?" She asked almost mechanically. I believe that after call center executive jobs, this one is the most demanding, the most awful. Target dice might hit you personally, but you have got to smile still. Two, it's three actually, including the box full of cushion in my mind. You may place it on the baggage belt, she says with a smile and adds, Happy journey, thank you. Much to my surprise, I find the same Indian girl seated on 18B right next to my seat, 18A. I put my hand baggage in the cabin above our seats and greet her with a smile. Hey, we meet again. Yes, we do, she chimes. So, where are you headed? Goa. How about you? Bingo. Goa actually. I will take the Konakan Kanya Express after we land in Mumbai. It's my first time in India, so I figured I will be able to explore more if I take the train. It is not going to be easy if you take the train in India, she adds. I will manage, by the way. I am Elra. I move my hand forward in a friendly gesture. Avika, she says as she shakes my hand. Are you a singer or guitarist? She asks, the curiosity her eyes like a cute puppy's, her mouth drooling with inquisitiveness. I am singer and songwriter. Yes, I can play the guitar. I knew it. You know how to play the guitar. How cool is that? Oh no, it's not cool. It's not as cool as it seemed to you. Why? And you must have fans. Some of them, lots of them. Even Elisa has fans. A lot of them. No one knows what happened to her. Sadly, she was not even famous when she was alive. I dropped this name in the conversation to check if Avika has roots in Goa too. Everyone now knows Elisa in Goa. She could not keep up with her drug addiction. Does it imply that all singers share the same fate? She's not dead. No one ever found her body. She could be living under a different name. That's just being optimistic. Everyone in Goa believes that she married a rich guy, failed off to live in the dream life. Herein she has found her husband cheating on her and probably tripped on drug overdose before she finally succumbed to that, she mutters. While she has all the reasons to believe what the local media reported years after Elisa disappeared, she has no idea that we are discussing my mother. I want to mention again that they never found her body, but the onus of changing the topic is totally on me now. I am not into drugs, thankfully. I laugh as I make an attempt to take her attention away from Elisa. You must have fans though. Yeah. You must also have subscriber to YouTube channel, I suggested her. She unlocks her smartphone and instead and opens up the search panel of YouTube. She gestured at me to browse for my channel. Alera official. I type and hand the phone back to her. She immediately taps on subscribe. She then puts my latest song time on listen offline download. I am going to listen this, she smiles. What do you do, by the way? I ask her. I work as a social media manager for a digital agency. I can skyrocket your followers number overnight savings. I want to get away from the glare of social media. Oh, really? Yes, I want to take some time off and work on original composition. I write and sing my own songs. Creativity is faced with a block when the mind is not free. I want to be free. Your trip is more like a soul searching, reflecting, like one of those Hollywood films. All I can say is that you won't find a better place than Goa. The sea and its vistas are so tranquil. Oh, oh yes, they are. I have seen a lot of pictures online. Reality is far beyond the soulless photoshopped pictures. How can people feed their soul by just stalking bloggers on Instagram? I believe you have got to walk out, explore, and come back with your own story. I totally second that. The air hostess start with their demonstration process as I look out of the window. The jet trumpets move in genetic circular motion. She plugs in her earphone and tells me that she is listening to my song time. I lay back against the seat. Takeoffs don't give me a nice feeling. It's like leaving the land and chatting into the unknown. But it is not only when you have exhausted your beliefs in the known that you look for an answer. Out in the known, it's unfaith. It's faith, it's belief that keeps you going nevertheless. The longest night of my life is this long flight where I find myself seated. I feel time to millionth part of my second. It's like boarding a rocket only to be lost in space, not knowing when I would return. Every second I see flashes of my past life here and there. When I break out of my revive, occasionally I think of all the reason why this flight should not spiral down. I am a nervous flyer, and no matter how hard I try to lower my anxiety, it would not help. But today I can't die. As I look at the baggage cabinet, assured that the box is safe in my backpack, I am reminded of all the years I have waited to embark on this journey. Mom, I carry a piece of you wherever I go. The piece is not round and smooth, it's scratched and broken. It hurts me as it reminds me of the unspoken words, unkept promises, and uncalled for advance. It's unbearable to carry its any further. Sometimes I wish to claw it out and let it sink in the deep sea. I would bleed for a while, but eventually I would be set free from the pain of carrying it. The piece of you, not all pain is physical, not all abuse is physical, some of it emotional, and I desire to heal by the deep sea, heal beneath the warming sun. Ticket to Freedom, Arav, Friday, 1st November 2019. HSBC Bank, Burn Garden Road, Pune, India. In the quest of getting further from you with every passing day, I got a step closer to myself. I travel when in doubt, when nothing works out, when laughter seems hard and relationships fall apart. Buying a ticket of the Konakan Kanya Express every Friday night means buying a ticket to freedom for me. I am a final year engineering student in Goa, Institute of Management and Technology, who began a summer internship in Pune at HSBC in their IT team. I should have been back to my college by November, but my boss Akshay and the company wanted me to stay. It's a paid internship too, so neither my college nor I had apprehensions about it. My college only concern was that the final year college placement season is around the corner. But Akshay asked them not to worry as he will most likely recruit me in his team. My boss Akshay often tells me that hard work can take you places in life. He started as an Airtel SIM sales executive somewhere in Nasik, which is far from being the corporate hub of India, and has grown to become the vice president IT of the APAC region. Amazing, isn't it? 3 months into the internship, he knew there was something up with me. Maybe the stipend was the only reason I chose to stick around. There is a lot going on in my head right now. It's not just the career that I'm unsure of. I recently broke up with my college senior and live-in partner, Tara. She is the one I fell in love with on the first day of college. She has been the only one so far. I was meek and shy as a school kid. I was not the kid who would simply approach girls. She suggested that we leave the hostel and move in together, but now settled in the UK with her husband recent. Yeah, it has been only 7 months. College relationship usually only last until the day of college. Mine was such relationship for sure. My weekends meant listening to stories from watching Netflix and drinking beer together. Now that I live with a couple of broke bachelors looking for jobs in IT, I don't feel like spending my weekends in Pune. Every weekend that I do, I feel like evaporating into nothingness. Maybe that's the reason I travel far from the city to the sea and beyond. Life has become a party of the kind where you feel deserted in the company of others, not just plain and simple lonely, but precisely one where you feel hollow. Every second I meditate, I run fast. Then order pizzas at last. I scream harder into the shield of my pillow. Tara, someday I will definitely get over the thoughts of meeting you again. Tara's wedding was a huge shock and brought out of the comic in me. I had always wanted to tell jokes on stage but had repressed my passion for the fear of people not approving of it. After she left, I felt I had hardly anything to lose. I always had a flair for making people laugh, but this time I honestly asked myself, can we celebrate pain? Building on the art of comedy is kind of iterative. I can always practice harder and become a better version of me, but relationships bloom and wilt like flowers. Season arrive and pass by, and a new flower blooms once the older one is consumed by death. With humans, it's different. They have feed and often walk away much before death. In our case, death did not do us apart, like we often worried when we were still together. As time progressed, life did. I am not in the mood to date a new girl. I believe I have lost the patience to deal with new tantrums. Every relationship is an investment of time, also money. All until you have whooped the girl. Neither do I have time nor money to invest in a relationship. All I want is to figure out the best career of me and work for success. I have a huge education loan to pay off. My parents are definitely not the kind of who can bear the expenses of the ever increasing college tuition fees in India. In fact, my mother is so cautious about every paisa that we spend that when I would go to school, she would ask me not to share the dry fruits with others as they were expensive. As I move into the conference room to make phone calls, Akshay passes by in the corridor. He smiles, tells me he has figured out that I sneak out to Goa every weekend. When you are hiding something from someone, every encounter feels like the doomsday. You know deep within your heart that someday you will be caught for sure. So well, a recent development is that I am a part-time stand-up comedian at Ricky's Beach, Shaken in Goa. I am not a popular one, just an amateur trying things out. Tomorrow is my second performance. Just in case Akshay knows the truth. Chances are the are that he has worked in but twice as hard to dig out the truth. We have not had a real adult conversation about this. Akshay had deep green eyes, fair complexion, a height that complements his Aryan personality traits. He is encouraging, kind, and humble. He slides the cabin door and peeps into the room. Lunch at 2 p.m. Where I get excited as I wonder if he is taking me out to the fancy newly inaugurated fine dine restaurant Colorian near our office. He has this habit of surprising the team with elaborate gestures. Cafeteria, he says without an expression or walk off silently. I guess he's going to take the information out of me. I whisper under my breath. The gentleman that he is, he would be more concerned about me joining a drug cartel than not meeting the sale targets. I know, however, I am never absent at work, so he idly has no way to raise the topic and warn me against the same. His expressions reveals that finding about my stand-up act in Goa is the only thing. A poster with an Oscar Wilde quote that reads, "Be yourself, everyone else is already taken," hangs on a wall of the cafeteria right below which I sit to talk to Akshay. I have been looking at the poster since day one. It's funny that this quote adorns the wall of bank's corporate office where hardly anyone is being themselves. I point to the poster as I start a casual conversation with Akshay. Be yourself. Am I being myself since the day one I started taking my own decisions? You are always being yourself. Even if you are not doing what others want, you do. You are taking the final call. You mean to say that I am being myself since the day I was born? Yes, of course not. I wanted to bring a significant change to my life, a change that would empower me to live the way I would love to, but I have had a fading interest in everything. Nothing had excited me for more than a certain time period. It had happened to me in the classroom as well. My love for math was not natural but fueled by the fact that my dad would have freaked out if he come to know that I did not perform well. I would not have been able to get a well paid job if I dare not to be a top scorer in math. I loved geography like no other subject, but there were no conventional career in geography, not to my family's knowledge at least. Biology had grown on to me at one point of time, but the very fact that it would take a huge amount of time and effort to become an established doctor had made me restless for night after writing the board exams. I loved English as a subject, and the primary reason was the beautiful storytelling it involved. I did a couple of comic mime performances on stage back in school, also wrote a few poems as a young kid, and got some articles published in the magazine at the university. The moment I left school, I was not being myself. Suddenly, I was chasing a career in encouraging. I am trying to be a version of me that my dad wants me to be. I say, you are always being yourself. I would say it again if you are doing what others want you to do. You are taking the final call. I remember how my dad, a math fanatic, had once asked me as a child, "What is the best thing you can do with your numbers? I can write jokes on them." I had replied innocuously, two slaps followed. No more, no less. Akshay is definitely correct. But what's more, why isn't he coming to the point? I keep wandering my gaze to every nook and corner of the cafeteria. "What's in your bag?" Akshay quizzes. Laptop, diary, charger. Yeah, I take a pose. Beach shorts. Akshay grins. No, I wonder what to tell him. You must be off to Goa. It's Friday night. Why? Why are you keeping secrets? What kind of secrets? When people answer question with a question, they are definitely hiding something. That must be your definition. Getting defensive too. I am not. You are. Actually, I perform at Ricky Beaches 6. He completely my he completes my sentence. How do you know that? Besides, I'm allowed to do anything on the weekends. I'm not making any money from it. So by contract the company can't use me. Oh, I wanted to congratulate you, little boy. I'm happy you are getting over the Tara episode. Besides, I know Ricky runs this place. You have got to answer this right now. How do you know this and that? Ricky called me up this morning. Gosh, Ricky can be so unpredictable at times. Sir, he is a retired psycho, but he is good at heart. Don't mind anything he says, he's just helping me cope with a breakup. Of course, I would not. I am happy that a stranger is not keeping secrets, unlike my own bacha. He laughs. Besides, Ricky sounds like a gentleman. Have you finalized tomorrow's script? He continues. No, I will do it in the bus. That's why I take the bus. It helps me write and travel at the same time. Why don't you perform here at office? We will pay. He winks. Someday. You have a meeting with my boss at the head office near CSTS station at Mumbai at 5 p.m. The cab is waiting downstairs. Get going. Sir, but I have to reach Goa by Konak Kanya Express, right? I didn't get you. Here you go. He hands me a ticket. The office will pay you for the cab to Mumbai. Akshay, why did you do this? I am just making it easier for you. Thank you, sir. You are the best. You are the rock star, he chimes. I live with the burden of my dreams, with a burning desire to reach out to millions. I have started to find bliss in the quagmire, for it acts as a fuel to keep me moving every day, every time. If there was not a thing to fight for, I would become stagnant, a living dead like a million others who fit in and don't dare to be themselves. I believe that death should come only when I have exhausted my fuel. I call up Ricky as I pack up my stuff at the desk and move on towards the cab. He does not even have a smartphone. Calling on the cab club's landline number is the only option. Hello. Scene. The club manager responds from the other end. Hello, can you please call Uncle Ricky? Next, I hear Ricky's ever enthusiastic voice. Hello, dude. Uncle, why the heck did you tell my boss about my gig? I want you to be honest, everyone. You know, you need not hide your passion for telling jokes. It's a story that needs to be told out loud. I can help myself. Please don't do this again. You have put my job in jeopardy. That's the idea. I want you to move to the club full time. I will try my best to keep doing that. I am fortunate that Akshay is unlike other IT team leads who suck the blood out of their team members. He arranged for a meeting near the station to help me to reach Goa. By the way, you have got another surprise waiting for you. What's that? I inquire. He hangs up on me. Uncle Ricky has helped me in a lot of ways. I owe him big times being so supportive of my art, but he tends to act weird at times. What scares me more is his love for alcohol. I want him to die a happy and peaceful death, which he claims that he will, but I somehow don't find myself convinced of that. Uncle Ricky never got married. At the peak of his youth, he was a drummer at the Hippie Trail Cafe and has performed percussion with the famous Elisa. Elisa is one of the finest singers Goa has ever had, but she disappeared in the late 90s. Unfortunately, people discovered her music days after she passed away. What happened to her? Everyone has their own theory, but on one has an answer. Ricky's speech check often plays her music. His songs transform you to fight for your dreams, stand up for you who you are. She was definitely ahead of her time, and her songs will continue to inspire millions for ages to come. That's the thing about art. It never dies. I want to make people laugh. That's all. I wish I could have met her once. She must have been an amazing personality. I managed to finish the meeting just in time and reach the railway station. It's almost 10:40 p.m. 45 p.m. and the train leaves at another 20 minutes. I start looking for my coach B3. Distressed girl asked in a slightly broken Hindi, "Where do I check in my baggage?" Her question confirmed my speculation that though she looks Indian, she must definitely be an NRI. What's more, she is traveling by train for the first time. We don't check in here. You have to carry it with you. Where is coach B6? I point in the opposite direction as we are standing somewhere near before. My name is Ara, I say, only to realize that she has already left hurriedly in the pointed direction. Unperturbed, I drag on towards my own coach. I settle my bag on the side upper berth and roll my side of the window up. The screen of the smartphone flashes dead, dead, dead. Why on earth is he calling? Hello, beta. Why did you not take the video call? I know for certain by now what Ricky's surprise is. I check my phone to evaluate the time I have before the train leaves the 10-minute sit. I have exactly 10 minutes before the train engine whistle, so loud as to make it evident that I am traveling. Beta, think once again. My dad says. I hear my mom sobbing as if I am leaving this world forever. What should I tell my friends when they come home for a kitty party? She continues to sob in the background. I vividly imagine her in mustard yellow cotton sari that she has been wearing for the last 5 years, drenched in tears. About what? I get inquisitive. What is she supposed to tell people at the kitty party? But a guy called Ricky called me up from Goa. He tells me that you are going to quit your job and join his club full time as a comedian. When they ask me what does your son do for a living, what should we tell them? He makes people laugh. I say almost as a reflex. Suddenly my feet go numb. I realize that my sweet little secret is not a secret anymore. Like Raj Kapoor in Mera Naam Joker, I imagine my father's face turning pale with a dismal frown. Oh, like Charlie Chaplin, my father says assertively. Gone are the days of circus, Archana. He is a performer. He will be speaking in front of a huge crowd. He feeds his ego and continues. A stand-up comedian, yes, stand-up. I almost correct him as a reflex. It's okay if we tell everyone that you have landed a job with Taj Hotel and Resorts in Goa in their IT team. Everyone knows that you are going to get a placement soon, and none of your our relatives can afford to book the hotel. We will never be caught. And what will you do when they upload videos on YouTube? They will certainly come across it someday. But people hardly watch new videos. Sarika auntie has started a food blog. Last time I checked it, it had 1600 views. I kept refreshing for 4 days and it now has 601. Moreover, once the ghost of stand-up comedian stops to hunt you, you can get your respectable job in Pune back. Papa, I am not quitting the internship. I will surely get the final offer. Please don't believe in Ricky's cooked up stories. Comedy is a hobby. It's temporary. Passion can't be a profession. I hang up and set my phone to flight mode. The train whistles, indicating that it is time to leave. As the train starts to move, I slowly my, regain my sanity, one breath at a time. My train compartment is a classic scene, as always. Sitting across from me is an over enthusiastic man who is dumping his religious and political gyan on all. Government job, that's best, and the only thing that you must go for. He shouts like a politician begging votes. His finger points to nothing in specific but a rust clad ceiling fan to the fan that should supposedly be on table. That's what I told her. After all, she has to get married, look after the babies. Why would she go for a corporate job? Money makes you ambitious, says the other fellow sitting with the daughter. Chai chai, kadak chai. A vendor passes by yelling. One cutting, I tell him and hand him a 10 rupees note. Namo used to sell chai. The girl breaks the silence. Had he not been ambitious, he would not have become the Prime Minister of India. See, adds, he is a guy, her father chuckles. I look at his chappal. They are the ones you get from the roadside hawkers in Mumbai for peanuts. It reads the logo of Facebook. What brand is that? I interrupted him as I sip my glass of cutting chai. Facebook, he says with a confidence, still puzzled over what my question has to do with this chapel and, of course, him. Facebook's CEO was a woman who recently quit to pay more attention to her own initiatives. There is a pin drop silence while the girl smiles as she approves of me. The rest of them now notice my colored fingers and unconventional features with a distasteful glance. Indian judge you left, right and center. Wearing traditional clothes give you an upper edge. Knowing the local language gives you a faster promotion. These are just a few things to begin with. A shady guy with unkept hair on the top brush looks over the entire scene as if he is going to make a feature film on the same. He is probably driving without a legit ticket. You can tell these people apart by their faces. See, I judged him. I am an Indian too. A book hawker selling pirated copies of best-selling books pass by. Bhaiya, which book sells the most? I ask. He points to a title which reads, "Become a millionaire overnight." We are population of 1.3 billion, struggling hard to make a big, and most of us want to become millionaires overnight. Especially me. If I could pay off that education loan, I would be free to do anything. Do you want to? Do you want any? Yeah, become a millionaire night overnight. I say as I handed him a 100 rupees note. In the compartment next to mine is a family en route to wedding. I assume that they will probably play Antakshari all the way to Goa. Destination weddings are the new in thing in India. November is the peak of the wedding season. Their children are all over the place. They would keep going up and down on the berth and keep creating a nuisance. Where do I get ideas from my script? Well, it's all around me. All I have to do is listen. I rest my head against the window to see the beautiful countryside pass by. Although it's night, the moon is at its brightest best. A train journey is like no other. If you are on board with your family, it's about deeply bonding with them as the train whistles across the country. If you are on board alone, it's about deeply bonding with strangers and knowing their story. They say time is not possible yet. Physically, yes. However, the moment I step into a train, it takes me back to my childhood. If you are 90s kid, you know what I am talking about. Everything the soup being served with the breadsticks, the chai wala roaring amidst the hustle, the cutlets realizing parle ji dipped in a tea, a reading champak bought from the railway platform of the sum of route station. It all takes me back to the time of my life that I cherish the most. After flying for miles in the economy class of various aircrafts, where I feel like a stranger amidst so many sophisticated passengers who would hardly look at each other. A train journey is where I came back home to. When my sorry, when my day ends, everything fades away, and there is only one thought left. Tara. Some relationships have a closure. You meet for one last time and end up things with a conversation. In my case, it was so abrupt that I have never knew when we met last it was actually going to be our last. Have you ever stood at the end of a relationship not knowing what went wrong? Was it their fault? Was it yours? The older the pajamas get, the cozier they become. But sometimes you feel like sleeping on a pair of jeans. If you stick to the pajamas for long, you would never know what breathing in the fresh air feels like. I have put on my favorite pairs of jeans. Suddenly, I sip my cup of tea and reach for my pen and scribble in my diary. I kept shifting apartments, changing cities in search of a home, and then I found home in her. She did not. Life leaves me with no choice but to move on. I move out yet again, but this time in search of myself. The warmth of this cup of tea reminds me of you. Everything around me reminds me of you. I believe it's hard to move on. The more I try to run away, the more I find myself holding on to you. I decide not to give up. I will keep at it. The quest of moving further from you and the quest from getting closer to myself. सो गाइस अभी इतना ही रहने देते हैं. मिलेंगे आपसे नेक्स्ट वीडियो में इसी बुक के साथ. और अगर आपकी कोई फेवरेट बुक हो तो आप कमेंट कर सकते हैं. चैप्टर बहुत सही लग रहा है मेरे को. मैंने 2 चैप्टर आपको पढ़ के सुना दिए हैं. आपको भी सही लगे तो प्लीज़ कमेंट करना. सही लग रही है बुक. अभी देखते हैं आगे क्या होता है. अभी यहाँ पे 2 कहानियाँ बता दी है. फर्स्ट एलिसा डॉटर जो लंदन न्यूयॉर्क से यहाँ आ रही है. और अभी ये अरब की बात बता रहे हैं जो कि एक कॉमेडियन बनना चाहता है बट आईटी जॉब में काम कर रहा है. फुल टाइम आईटीएन हाफ टाइम कॉमेडियन कह सकते हैं. तो देखते हैं आगे क्या होता है कहानी में. और मुझे लग रहा है जो लड़की मिली है एलिसा डॉटर को एलेरा को फ्लाइट में, वो उसकी बचपन की दोस्त है जो बाई इंसिडेंट मिल गई है. लेकिन देखते हैं आगे क्या होता है. तो ठीक है. थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग.